The Las Vegas Raiders have made several bloopers in the past when it comes to the draft. And this year in 2023, I don't think it's going to be any different. And I think they're going to want to jump up and try to get to that 32nd pick. And here's how the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to 1000% benefit from this and really get a haul for it, guys. And I'm thinking the Pittsburgh Steelers go ahead and try to get this type of compensation for the 32nd pick. And I think it's a fair compensation package that I'm kind of drawing up here and I'm kind of thinking could work or will work. So, guys, like I said, this is a quick video. This is like an impromptu thing. I was just looking at some numbers and just going over some scenarios in my head about what could happen in the draft. And I think the Raiders, they have the 7th, 38th, the 70th, and the 100 and the 109 pick. It's a good bit of capital in the first 110 draft picks. So, what if the Oakland Raiders would trade the Pittsburgh Steelers and swap the 38th for the 32nd pick? So now the Steelers move back to 38, and the Raiders will be up at 32, and then as the compensation package for this, as for swapping these picks and allowing the Raiders to move up, the Steelers would gain the 70th, the 100, and the 109. I know that may seem a little steep, but I really don't think so when it comes to what some of these teams have gotten for some first round picks. And this is basically a first round pick anyway. And you're not getting any, first round picks in the deal. So, I mean, you're just trading your not ladder, but mid-round picks and hoping for the best because you feel there's a player at 32 that you have to have on that roster. And I think the Raiders are just a team to really think there's a guy out there that they got to have at 32, and they don't want nobody else to get him. And I'm thinking the Raiders do this and get rid of those 3 picks. So they're only trading 3 picks, guys. And then that gives the Steelers a nice setup with 6 picks now in the top 109 players drafted. And that's a pretty good spot to be in because they're really not making too much of a difference from 32 to 38. So now the Steelers would select 17th overall, 38th overall, 49th overall, which is their Steelers own that pick currently. Then they would gain that 70th pick. That's from the Raiders. Then they would gain that 100 pick, but the Steelers already own an 80 pick. So they're at 80. Now they'll be at 100 coming from the Raiders. And now you get 109 on top of that. That's 3 picks. 70, 100, and 109, and swapping the 38 for the 32nd. That would give the Steelers 6 picks when they're in that top 109. And I like the chances of the Pittsburgh Steelers with their draft record and their draft acquisitions in the past. Not all work out, not all the best, but however, they hit pretty good on a lot of them. I mean, not a lot. I'm probably, we'll say half, maybe they're half. I don't know. That's pretty good for a lottery to where these are guys that you don't know how they're going to fare in the NFL. You don't know how they're going to fare even just out in the street after becoming just a guy that got a couple bucks. You don't know how that's going to change them. You really don't know. So these are all gamble picks, and that's from 1 to Mr. Irrelevant. And those are all gambles. You don't know fully. You can do all the research you want. However, we don't know 1000% what anything's going to do or any player's going to do in the NFL. And when they have a whole new set of variables, some things that maybe the NIL deal's doing, maybe it is preparing these kids to have a little bit and not go as crazy when they get to the NFL, to where we don't get some of them tragic stories of people going crazy with the money. I don't know. I'm just saying that may be one good thing. But the Raiders were 6-11 last season and have a ton of holes to fill. And I think that they might be willing to do that if they really value that pick. And I think they do, because I think they really they have a couple players they're out there eyeing. That's for a different show. That's a lot to get into. However, I feel there's a couple players that they are eyeing and hoping that if they're not there, or if they're not taken on day 1, we are moving up to 32 and we're getting them now and just going with it. And the Raiders, I think they might do that. So, guys, what do you think? Put it in the comments. I want to hear what you guys are thinking, what the Steelers should do with the 32nd, and they even have the 49th pick also. So, they're sitting at 32, 49, 80. Those are their picks. So those are good quality picks. Are already three of them in the top 80. That's three picks in the top 80. 17, well, four picks. 17, 38, 49, and 80. Now you add a couple more and stay in that top 100. Man, Omar Khan, this would be like the biggest gift ever. He would have such an amazing draft class, hopefully. Hopefully, it would be somewhere where he really stamps his name on this team by getting these players in the top 100 that should pan out, hopefully. And I mean, it's a better chance. These guys are the most highly evaluated, the most highly rated. So, what do you guys think? Put it down in the comments. Let me know so we can have some discussion about what the Steelers should do with the 32 overall pick. And they could even make some moves with 32 and 49, coupling that together. They might be able to move up pretty decent and gain another pick with just those two in the first round, maybe. I'm not sure. It just depends on where they want to go and how what players they truly value. And I want to put this out there. I did a video on Clark Phillips III, and I think the Pittsburgh Steelers need to grab this kid. I think he'd be special. I put a short out about him. The Steelers are rumored to be highly interested in him, and I think that would be a hell of an acquisition to get him in one of them top 80 picks. I'm not sure exactly where he'd go, but yeah, guys, I think the Steelers need to take Clark Phillips III. I said it a long time ago, and I'm hoping that they do pull the trigger on him. I think he provides a dynamic aspect to that defense and gives the Steelers something they haven't had since Mike Hilton. But he has something that Mike Hilton doesn't have, and that's his ability to go out and match up on the outside and guard people with his excellent ball skills, his excellent hips, his nifty first step. So I just think he's a quality player, and I think he's a little slightly undervalued considering he's from Utah. The Utes aren't as, the Alabamas, the Oregons, the Ohio States, Penn States. They're not that. So that tends to not get guys recognized as much. So it's just the way it is. And we'll see how it plays out in the 2023 NFL draft. Again, put it in the comments. Like the shit out of these videos, guys, and share the crap out of them, please. And that way we can keep growing the channel. I want to hit 200 subscribers before the next week or two here. We're currently at 168, I think. So let's make a push to hit that 200 subscriber mark. And I appreciate you all watching. The support for the videos has been unreal so far. So thank you guys. I appreciate it. Until next time, thank you for watching Mic Drop Sports.